In the distant future, a nuclear volcano has emerged from the sea covering what was long ago known as Florida. It is here that the only remaining humans, reduced to Stone Age technology, survive on a diet of mutant wildlife and radioactive coconuts. Do you have what it takes to unite them under your power, or will human ambition once again lead to environmental collapse? Manage your resources and alliances to expand your power, but beware betrayal, volcanic eruptions, and the ecological limits of the islands on which you depend.
I'm Dan Kerslis, the creator of Forever Island. I love board games because of the way they bring people together. No screens, no doom scrolling, just friends competing to ruthlessly crush one another's ambitions. I first came up with the idea for Forever Island when I was reading about the collapse of ancient empires. In many cases, those civilizations failed in part because they exhausted the natural resources on which they depended, leading to increased conflict and societal breakdown. I wanted to create a strategy game where instead of always exploiting nature to the maximum, players had to take the limits of the environment into account while competing with one another. When I came up with the idea for the weather and fertility mechanisms, I knew that I had to build a complete strategy game around them. After 3 years of development, testing, and tweaking, Forever Island is finally here. So I know what you're thinking. There's tons of great board games out there. Why should I give Forever Island a try? Let me give you 3 reasons. Number 1, it's a big game in a small box. Forever Island has a relatively small number of components, but they interact in tons of different ways and create a full-fledged strategy game for up to 6 players. Plus, the board layout changes every time, so it gives you a unique experience each playthrough. The rules are simple enough for casual gamers to master quickly, but they interact in unpredictable ways that will challenge even the most strategically minded gamers. You're not going to find another game at this price point that has this much replayability. Number 2, it's different from other strategy games. In Forever Island, the resources are regenerative, so you must always balance current consumption against future growth. In fact, every choice is a balance, whether to cooperate or compete, whether to build strength in one location or expand to new islands, whether to play it safe or put it all on the line in a raid. The ideal balance will be determined by the layout of the board, the intensity of the weather, and the personalities of your opponents. Number 3, it's fun, fast, and highly interactive. Fun. The resources are hogs, logs, and frogs, and you win by controlling 3 erect totems. So if double entendre is your thing, you're going to have a field day. If you're more of a dramatist, you'll find plenty of theater in the alliances, betrayals, and high-stakes battles. Fast. If you love classic games like Risk and Catan, but you don't love the lengthy playtimes, you'll find Forever Island's pace refreshing. There's time for your civilization to grow, develop into an empire, and collapse all within the space of an hour. Interactive. There's so many different ways to interact with your opponents. You can trade, you can cooperatively farm, you can tax them, you can raid. The limit is your imagination. Plus, if you're playing with 4 or 6, you can do team version, which is the most fun of all. So I hope that you will sign up below to receive updates for the Kickstarter. It's going to be launching very soon. We've got a crack team working on the manufacturing and distribution. So as long as you sign up and pledge, you'll receive your board well in time, for the holidays. And once you sign up, you'll have our email so you can send us any questions or feedback. And most importantly, remember, your destiny as a supreme leader of the post-apocalypse is beckoning.